Hello. So this video will be for my capstone assignment for Mft690, and I'll start off the paper with my score on the exam. I did not get over 70. My score was a 43%, so I have some ways to go. I did find the exam very difficult, especially because I honestly didn't do a lot of studying for it. I didn't do a lot of preparation. I skimmed things here and there, but I definitely think that when I take the actual exam, I will be doing a lot more studying. I was mainly doing homework, and so I just feel like I really didn't grasp a lot of the concepts that were being utilized in the exam. There was a lot of things that were very tricky to me. So it would state things about certain therapies to use in certain instances, or give an example of a therapeutic model and then say which was the most accurate, which I feel like that's where I struggled the most. I haven't gone to go look at this last exam on where which ones I got wrong more than others. I believe I saw one or two that I got incorrect, but I didn't skim through all of them, which I will be doing during the taking of the actual exam. I definitely will be way more prepared. This was a really great experience though, because I was able to see firsthand on instances where I can improve, which is definitely going to be understanding the models more and really getting into it on practicing which type of models would I use for different types, and just going over all of them. Yeah, so that would be where I would be at. And this paper in particular, so I'm going to move on now from my exam to the paper. The paper that what I ended up utilizing for which model I ended up using for this was SFBT, Solution Focused Brief Therapy. I really enjoyed this therapy. I enjoyed learning about it and utilizing it. The reason I chose it was because I feel like I did a lot of brief therapy throughout my practicum. Most of my sites were short term. They were about the most is like 10-11 sessions with extensions 12 to 15. So I feel like we did focus a lot on past. So I started with using CBT, which was very useful, and I kind of went on into using solution focused therapy because it was just really helpful to not have to dive all the way back to, and we really focused on the issue in hand and how to go from there. So we were focused more on the problems in hand, not the way they were created. And so this was a really useful therapy, especially when you're doing therapy that has a limit and you won't have a lot of time. I think any therapeutic approach must be really flexible. And so and I also feel like this therapeutic approach we were able to really utilize in different communities. So I was utilizing it at a school base for adults, and which came from different backgrounds, but I would say they all came from a lower economic background, which diving way back to where the problem rooted could be very time consuming. So I feel like focusing on the problem in hand and how to move forward was the best approach for us to utilize. And so my paper kind of goes on that, and just also on who it was helpful for, and I kind of gave an example on a person that I was able to help with it, which I will dive more into moving forward. But I do feel like I talked a lot about areas where this therapeutic approach was very useful, and I feel like it can be utilized for any race, any background. So it was very helpful to be able to utilize in different areas. And I feel like it could really help. So solution focused brief therapy was very useful in assisting individuals to find the answer to problems that were related into their stage of life now. And so we were able to find a lot of coping skills that they were able to utilize, and just a lot of in the moment situations. I also feel like it was very flexible. So the strengths-based method worked, and I really also loved utilizing the magic questions, which I feel like got me so much involvement from the individuals. I utilized solution brief therapy with a client who was a 36-year-old bisexual low-income adult, and he was really struggling with anxiety and just finding connection. He was struggling with his peers, and I feel like it started off really overwhelming for him because he wasn't sure where to go from where he was, and it ended up he was able to find a better area in his life at the moment. He was able to find some coping skills that were appropriate for him at this time. We were able to figure out how to stick to where he is and move forward rather than going back and finding where it rooted and then finding the solution. And the reason that this was helpful for this instance was because we didn't have much time together. Like I said, our sessions were maybe 10 sessions long, and if we saw a plausible reason for an extension, we would get up to 12 to 15 sessions, but it would have to be approved beforehand. So it was very helpful with being able to really assist him in his situation with his job and his boss. He was really able to gain control and be more optimistic about his future, and just be able to accept the fact that his family may not fully accept his sexuality, and to find peace in that with finding peace in himself. And he is still working on it, of course, and I'm sure that with more therapy and maybe even different types of therapy, he will thrive as he was thriving at that moment. But yeah, so that was what my paper was based on. So I really focused on solution-focused therapy with this client, and I feel like I utilized that model a lot, that therapeutic approach a lot during my sessions, because again, I never did long-term therapy. So it was just seemed like the most appropriate approach. Again, I did use cognitive behavioral, and the reason I chose to utilize the topic of solution focus was because I did enjoy more of the just sticking where we are and moving forward. I also enjoy going back with time, and I just feel like we just didn't have the time to utilize all of that past that I feel like could also be very helpful. But we did talk about the past. We kind of did really briefly, but we would really focus on the future. And yeah, so that was what my paper was about. Again, with my exam, I will continue to study, and I will continue to educate myself and grasp more of different models. And yeah, that was what my paper was about. Thank you.